So recently I made some videos about prehistoric creatures in different countries, and today I'm going to do Scotland. Specifically, Scotland around 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous period. This was before the dinosaurs had evolved, and when the Earth was ruled by some other creatures. And back then, Scotland was the most dangerous place on Earth. So let's take a step back in time, shall we? And we're going to rank 12 creatures from Carboniferous Scotland from least to most deadly. Let's start off with the West Lothiana. West Lothiana may look very ordinary, but it's actually very important in evolution. It's part of a group that connects amphibians to reptiles, as some amphibians evolved into reptiles, while others became the amphibians we know today. Like a lizard, West Lothiana spent most of its life on land, digging burrows for its new hard-shelled eggs. That's one distinction between reptiles and amphibians, their eggs. While amphibians have soft eggs, reptiles had hard eggs, and this is a main theory as to why reptiles evolved, because the hard-shelled eggs were more effective in protection. Anyways, West Lothiana was up to 8 inches or 20 centimeters long, so not harmful at all, really. Next up is the Mazathyros. This giant flying insect of the family Paleodictyoptera has no living relatives, but to me it kind of looks like a roach. It had a wingspan of 56 centimeters or about 2 feet, so it's pretty big for a bug. But don't worry, it's a plant eater. The worst it could cause you would be a minor inconvenience. But seriously, it was big. Next up is the Poderpes. This one was a lot cuter than those first two, and in my opinion would make a great pet. Poderpes was only 3.3 feet, or a meter long. And look at it. Who wouldn't want to pet that? The worst it would do is bite you, which wouldn't really hurt, I don't think. Now the Meganeura. Meganeura's wingspan was up to 3 feet, or about a meter long. This makes it one of the largest insects ever. Its body was roughly 2.5 feet long, or around 43 centimeters long. This thing ruled the skies during the Carboniferous. A modern dragonfly bite can be a little pinch, but from one this size, it would probably be a bit more painful. If you're wondering how bugs got this big, it was because of the oxygen amount. The higher the oxygen level, the larger the insects would get. This is the Crassigyrinus, and it deserves its name, thick tadpole, as it resembled a large tadpole. It was fully grown, even though it did look like a tadpole. Think of it more like a giant salamander, growing up to 2 meters or 6.6 feet long. It was likely fully aquatic, something you wouldn't want to have in the water with you, as it was a silent and speedy hunter. And it had a more land-based cousin, the Proterogyrinus. This guy was even bigger at 8.2 feet or 2.5 meters long. These are like alligators, but amphibian. Okay, next up is Arthropleura. Nature arguably hit peak creepiness when millipedes grew to the size of crocodiles. This is Arthropleura, the largest arthropod to ever walk on land. These things grew about 6.7 feet long, or 2 meters. But that's an average. Some got much bigger than that. But don't worry, millipedes are herbivores, which means, they eat plants. However, if it gets intimidated by you and tries to use those pincers against you, good luck with that. Coming up next is a giant scorpion. This is Gigantoscorpio, whose name means literally giant scorpion. Estimates put this creature at about 2 feet long, or about half a meter long. The size is insane for a possibly venomous scorpion. We don't know much about Gigantoscorpio, which is why there's only one image, but you definitely not want to cross it. Oh, fun fact, another scorpion was bigger, the Pulmonoscorpius. This one was larger at average at around 2.5 feet or almost a meter long. It also had a smaller stinger than Gigantoscorpio, and if you know anything about modern scorpions, a smaller stinger indicates more deadly venom. So don't anger either of these deadly scorpions. Well, that was the most dangerous land animal, but things got worse when you got in the water. This is Stethacanthes, and it has to be one of the strangest sharks to ever inhabit the seas. But it didn't just inhabit seas, it made it to fresh water, so you could find it in the swamps of prehistoric Scotland. This defining feature of the shark was the hump on its back. However, only males had humps, which leads us to believe that the hump was used to attract mates. Some species grew up to 3 to 5 feet long, or 1 to 1.5 meters long, while the largest species, Stethacanthes productus, grew up to 10 feet long, or 3 meters long. So be on the lookout for this weird shark. Now to another freshwater shark, the Orthocanthus. Orthocanthus was exclusively freshwater, growing up to 10 feet, or 3 meters long. It was very slender and very odd, with a spine coming out of its head and a dorsal fin that ran down its entire back. It had double-fanged teeth for catching prey. Yeah, no one wants to be in the water with that thing. Well, we've made it to the most dangerous creature to ever inhabit Carboniferous Scotland, the Rhizodus. You thought the big sharks were bad? Meet this guy, the largest freshwater fish that we know of, ever. This thing grew up to 23 feet long, or 7 meters long, and was an apex predator that could catch anything with its 8-inch long teeth. Leaving the water wouldn't exactly help you if you encountered one, as they had lungs to breathe air, and its fins were built like limbs, so it could follow you on land. Well, that was Scotland during the Carboniferous period, when it was a land of huge amphibians and huge fish and huge bugs. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment what other countries I should talk about.